You know, we trust our cars with pretty much everything. Our safety, our money, our families. But what happens when that trust gets completely shattered? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive into how car manufacturers have betrayed that trust from the past right up to today.
So let me just ask you straight up, do you trust your car company? And I want you to really think about that for a second. It seems like a simple question, right? But as you're about to see, the answer is, well, it's gotten incredibly complicated. For a long time, the biggest betrayals were the ones you couldn't see, the ones hidden away in the steel and rubber. We're going to look at cases where companies knew for a fact that there were deadly problems in their cars, and they just chose to stay silent.
And then, of course, there's the hit to your wallet. That warranty you paid for, for peace of mind. We're going to see how companies use all sorts of fine print and clever excuses to deny you coverage right when you need it the most.
And that brings us to today, to this modern, totally invisible threat. Our cars, they aren't just machines anymore. They're computers on wheels, and they are always watching. And as we'll find out, that data isn't always being used to help you out. Okay, so to really get what's happening now, we've got to look back. Because believe it or not, this kind of behavior, it isn't new. There's a long history of defects, denials, and just straight-up deception.
Let's start with a case that is, well, it's horrifying. The GM ignition switch scandal. So there was this faulty switch that could just shut off the engine and the airbags while you're driving. GM knew about this for over a decade. The cost to fix the part, 57 cents. The cost of their silence, at least 124 lives. And the worst part? It came out later they'd literally done the math and decided it would be cheaper to pay out lawsuits than to actually fix the car.
And if you want to talk about deception on a massive scale, look no further than Volkswagen's Dieselgate. They marketed these clean diesel cars, right? The reality? They secretly installed software, a defeat device, to cheat on emissions tests. The second those cars were out on a real road, they were polluting up to 40 times the legal limit. It was a massive, deliberate lie sold to millions of people.
And sometimes you don't even have to dig that deep for the proof. It's right there in black and white. Ford sold millions of cars with this defective transmission that would just shudder and fail. They told customers it was their fault, that it was their driving style, but internal emails told the real story. Their own engineers warned them, quote, the transmission wasn't ready, and they sold it to people anyway.
All right, so all that brings us to the modern era, the new frontier in this whole battle for trust. The physical problems haven't gone away, but now there's this invisible betrayal we all have to worry about. The insane amounts of data our cars are collecting on us, and what's being done with it.
So, the key piece of tech we're talking about here is called vehicle telematics. And really, the easiest way to think about it is like your car's nervous system. It's constantly gathering super detailed info about everything you do, how fast you accelerate, how hard you brake, where you go, and it's sending all of that back to the car company. And the amount of data they're collecting is just staggering. It's not just your speed, it's your entire location history. I mean, a literal map of your life. If you sync your phone, it might be grabbing your call logs and contacts. And the newest cars, they have in-cabin cameras that can monitor your eye movements. It's a level of surveillance that is just, wow.
Okay, so where does all this incredibly personal data go? Well, it follows this kind of shady pipeline. Your car sucks it up, sends it to the manufacturer. Then the manufacturer often sells it to these huge data brokers, like LexisNexis. And from there, it gets into the hands of other companies, like insurance companies, who use it to make decisions that hit you right in the wallet.
And this right here, this is where it stops being some abstract idea about data and becomes a weapon used against you, the owner. This info is being actively used to deny claims and jack up your costs.
Okay, check out this story. It's a perfect example. A guy buys a Toyota GR Corolla, a car that Toyota sells as this high-performance, track-ready machine. They even offer free track days when you buy one. So he drives it hard, the car catches fire, and he files a warranty claim. And what does Toyota do? They deny it. They say he abused the car. And their proof? The car's own data. So here's the kicker. Toyota pulled what they called a data packet from the car's black box, and they used that to prove he'd been driving at high speeds and void his warranty. They basically said, hey, you used the performance car we sold you in the way we advertised it, so now we won't cover it. And get this, they apparently refused to even show the owner the full data they used against him. And look, this isn't just a one-off thing. Not long ago, it came out that GM's OnStar service was sharing detailed driving data. We're talking every hard brake, every late-night drive, with data brokers. That info was then sold to insurance companies. People's insurance rates were just skyrocketing, out of nowhere, and they had no idea their own car was snitching on them.
So what does this all add up to? What does the future look like? Well, it looks like a massive shift in what it even means to own a car. We're moving away from just buying a product, a machine, and toward buying a connected surveillance device that we're just allowed to use.
And it's not even just about data anymore. I mean, look at BMW. They actually tried to charge customers a monthly subscription fee to turn on the heated seats that were already physically built into the cars they'd paid for. It's this idea that you don't really own the thing you bought. You're just licensing its features from the company.
It all boils down to one final critical question. You paid tens of thousands of dollars for the car, the metal, the engine, all of it. But in this new world, who really owns the most valuable part of it? The data it creates about every single part of your life. That's a question we all really need to start asking.